these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. For these Bucs, Charles, 31-9, they were winners the last time these two teams met back in February. And what kind of chances do you give them of going back-to-back? You know, it hasn't been done since the Super Bowls in 2004 and 2005.
Well, when you analyze this team, you start with the front office. It's the same GM. The head coach and his staff essentially the same. They brought back all 22 starters from last year's Super Bowl championship team. And, oh, yeah, there's a certain Mr. Brady who won both of those titles in 2004, 2005 as the starting quarterback there. He's back as the quarterback here. I like their chances.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Well, CD, you get these two teams together and you get them each at full strength, and you know you're going to see some passing. We expect to see the ball in the air a lot as this game goes on.
Yeah, they were number 1 and number 2 in the NFL in passing yards last season. Kansas City 1, Tampa Bay 2, which means both defenses, I hope they got their rest, because going against these offenses, throwing the ball around and spreading the field, you're going to do a lot of running trying to cover.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
From just shy of midfield, Brady. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you've got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game.
Again, they'll throw with Brady, eluding the pressure right. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Bernard. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Really nice job there by the interior of the Kansas City defensive line, and they're a stout unit to run against. And they do an excellent job there bottling that play up.
On second and goal, Brady. And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, wasn't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Footing likely going. Rainy night, but this one is good. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. But, Charles, you think about these two teams, and think about how long it's been since we've had the same two teams play in the Super Bowl back-to-back years. You have to go back to the Cowboys and Bills almost 30 years ago in the 90s. That's the only time that it's happened in the Super Bowl era. So I'm curious, what kind of chances do you see of us having a Kansas City-Tampa Bay Super Bowl in L.A. come February?
Well, you just pointed out how difficult it is for one team to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone the same two teams to play against each other. So the odds are against them, but when we tell either one of these teams they can't get back there, we think they're two of the best in the league. It shouldn't surprise us if it happens, but it is going against historical precedent. But remember last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they won the Super Bowl in their own stadium. The only time that's happened in Super Bowl history, too. We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady. This is caught by Evans. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line. Back in the 1st quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the 1st quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. Running on first down is Fournette, but he can only manage a yard or so before he's brought down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Brady going to throw. Flush to his right. He'll drop this off for Bernard. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy-Bunting. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
Fournette, a first down carry. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
To throw is Brady. And that was going to be off target and incomplete. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Open space inside the 10. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tom Brady, 25 yards. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered, and he said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And this Bucs defense, you remember, pretty stout last year. The number 6 overall unit in the NFL.
And I think that as the season wore on, and you pointed this out to me as well, you start to see some of their rookies begin to figure things out. And they played a little more like a top 2 or 3 defense down the stretch. And I would say that in the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, they were truly the best defense in the NFL.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now it's Mahomes again. That's caught left side by Hardman. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And the fair catch is made. It's going to pin them back here at the 7-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. So we have reached halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
7 yards the pickup there.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And again, it's Mahomes. Man open is Robinson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 37.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
So after the INT, it's Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5.
Now Brady. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Brady now to throw. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. Levante David. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those two hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1 yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
And he's got some space here. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 99 yards. And the Chiefs have tied it, and they can take the lead with the extra point. That is a dangerous combination right there as we are learning quickly. Mahomes to Hill.
And think about the number of ways that they are dangerous, because Hill can run past anyone, so he can throw it all the way downfield to him. But also on the shorter catches, as we saw here, catch it underneath, catch it in front of someone, he makes a move or uses his speed, and he's still gone. Either way, he can go the distance.
And either way, good luck. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because...
And that's caught inside the 30. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin, 79 yards. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just got to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Levante David. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll buy some time right.
He's going to find his tight end, Gray, complete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 28 yards.
And the Chiefs have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The attention shifting back to Chris Godwin and the rest of the Tampa offense.
They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. They'll roll him out right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Chiefs are right back in this football game.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. So it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Connecting with Hill.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Here's Mahomes.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And the Buccaneers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
To throw is Brady, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
It was Melvin Ingram that time who shot in to bring him down.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
You definitely won't like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I've just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mahomes will throw.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never say never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Returning it, Johnson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's Brady and the Bucs. Down by a field goal, a little under 30 seconds remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Now Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position past the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes to throw it. Flushed out right. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there on the scramble. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
today. From MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, this is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Here's the former Florida Gator, Eddie Pinheiro, to get us started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Prescott on first down. Able to hit his target, Lamb. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. Throwing. Prescott. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock.
This is intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a jet touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you haven't been taught.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is Tony Pollard. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive.
And it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. After the interception, here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
This is caught. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 50. 30. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. So the fake punt, a daring call this deep in their own end, and the end result, they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jared Davis coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal. Range. Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Prescott yet again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a first and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Now Prescott. And it's caught. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott unable to punch it in. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Brandon, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
Wilson's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on
follow,
when he
and
gets
share.
to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Zerline now for the PAT. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman, and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great
touchdown. That's caught at the 1.
3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Zerline good with a PAT, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
You want both of us to win. No.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here's Coleman now to return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that is caught. It's Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there, because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
First down, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the 2nd half after 4 first-half interceptions?
It's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Play action. Now Wilson. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Caught here by Griffin.
A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Marcus May with a pick. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so.
And now the rookie's free. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Michael Carter, 65 yards. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players, but most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Rolling to his left. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Croft, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jets are going to retake the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
And the kick here no good, but a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. So that one will be accepted. So the Jet offense staying on the field. They're going to go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. Rolling to it, and he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on a 2-point try. After the penalty, they only needed a yard. They thought they could get it across. They could not.
The right play, the right call, even though it was unsuccessful. When you have 1 yard to get, how many times...
count on your offense.
Exactly. How many times have we heard a team say that? If you can't get 1 yard in this situation, well, they tried it, didn't get it. I still think it was the right play.
Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He has to sort of pick himself up off the mat now, Charles. They were winning at halftime, now losing it. He's not playing well.
Sometimes you get into a position where you get a little bit too greedy. You feel great about how you're playing. Good first half. Hey, I could do even more in the second half. And then you make throws that you're not supposed to. As you said, he's got to start to turn things around.
See if he can erase those 2 third-quarter interceptions from his mind.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. 3rd and short yardage, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz, and he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
And my goodness, another interception. Marcus May with a pick. His guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Now Wilson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right, and hauled in by Croft. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Wilson being chased out left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Zach Wilson, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. In just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the two-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question,
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have to...
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble at second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Throwing is Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Osa Odighizuwa able to get in there and drop him behind the line. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal.
Carter again. And now Carter going to be stopped up short. He did not get there.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Going for it, it's Carter.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Michael Carter.
His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets will extend their lead.
Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry,